What's the most personal thing you're willing to share with us? I found out my mom's cancer has spread to her bones today. I just want to make sure she's able to keep as much comfort and dignity as she can with the time she may have left. Edit. I really am overwhelmed by all the kind words everyone has sent me. There's been so much good advice. You've not only helped me feel better about my mom, you've also helped me feel encouraged that kindness still exists in the midst of all this darkness, and that there's a lot of us going through the same stuff. Hug the ones you love and don't be afraid to be kind. I got PTSD last year from seeing my father get murdered. I lost my job yesterday. This is small fish compared to a lot of you, but I recently started trying to teach myself piano. I'm terrible but getting better. I don't want to tell anyone because I get major anxiety and can't perform. Haha, yes, sex jokes. When I'm put on the spot, I'm afraid I'm gonna be stuck at my job for the rest of my life because I don't know what else I'm good at. It's not a bad job, but it doesn't really pay great and the hours are odd. It's not really something I want to be doing for too much longer, but I DK what else to do. I didn't cry when I found out one of my friends from high school killed himself. It was almost half a year ago and not one tear has leaked yet. I knew him for years. We took our black belt tests together, and I was the stage manager for the high school theater and he did lighting. I had to break the news to so many people and yet I felt no sadness. As a guy who attempted the same thing not a year previously, I'm still frustrated at my lack of emotion towards it all, especially when I see our friends posting about how much they still miss him. I'm 3.5 years into the career I dreamed about as a child and I can't fucking stand it anymore. I have no backup plan and I feel guilty that so many people I cared about cheered me on to follow my dreams. Edit. The field is graphic design and I've just started working at my third company. What I am most struggling with is the work we are assigned to do is dull subject matter and all creativity is sucked out by client amendments. Throughout all the companies the design team is villainized by the more client-facing roles and sales teams, with their team leaders often accusing us of insubordination for trying to uphold the brand guidelines. We work long extra hours with no reimbursement or praise and I'm really feeling the burnout. Today I cut contact with my ex-girlfriend for the sake of my mental health. I'm actually already feeling better. Edit. First off, thanks for the gold and all the upvotes. I didn't expect that, lol. Second, I need to clarify. My ex isn't and wasn't abusive. She's actually a really good person. I wanted to try and be friends like she wanted, but I really couldn't. I decided that the healthiest thing for both of us is to just stop talking. I have no ill will towards her. Those of you in a similar situation, I applaud you for being this strong. Best wishes. People ask why I'm single and I tell them because I'm too busy or have no time. But the truth is, I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. I always self-sabotage and do something wrong when I start seeing someone and so it never really ends well all the time. I prefer to be alone since at least I don't get hurt. I'm 31 and still have 2 baby teeth. I don't tell my friends, but they are pretty much the biggest thing keeping my anxiety and depression at bay and I really appreciate them for it. I'd like to tell them but don't know how to bring it up. I sharted on a blanket and threw it away. I played dumb to my girlfriend for about a half a year while she was constantly puzzled as to what happened to the blanket every time we sat down on the couch to watch TV. I finally broke down and confessed. Whenever I'm alone with my own thoughts, I can shift moods in legitimate seconds. 1 second I'll be dancing around my room super happy and the next moment I'll be bawling on the floor hating myself. It's a literal emotional roller coaster. I once dreamt I had sex with a biscuit, then got pregnant. Am male. Edit. Also in the dream the biscuit was male and I was female. Edit. It was an Anzac biscuit. The fear of dying has overran my life for at least 9 years. I think my dad could be struggling with something. He's a pretty reserved guy who keeps to himself most of the time and likes to be alone often. My anxiety disorder is more severe than I let on. When I am alone, it is pure hell. I both long for and am afraid of intimacy. I prefer to be alone, yet always feel lonely. My mother just kicked a hole in the wall. I'm on Reddit trying to calm down since none of my friends are awake. Edit. I'm doing okay now. I just have to be a bit wary of things for a day or two. Some people have asked why my mom kicked the hole, and it's because she was fighting with my dad. They've been fighting more often for the past 5 months or so. I don't know what they were fighting about, just that it got to the point where she kicked the wall. I stick toilet paper in my underwear before going for a walk so my underwear doesn't get as much sweat on it. I feel like I'm overreacting when it comes to my mental health. I think I'm depressed or anxious. I've contemplated suicide multiple times, but I'm too scared to say anything, especially to any professionals, because it might not be good enough. I carry a picture of my female friend with me at all times. It's hidden in my wallet. I wouldn't say I have strong feelings for her, but I just like looking at a picture of someone that has been there for me even when times were rough. I never knew my father. My brother was always more upset about it than I was. The father guy ran away when I was less than a year old. He later killed someone, went to jail, and now is living in an assisted living facility on parole. We did not know his real name until recently. My mother named my brother after him. So, we found out that the name was fake. But, my brother's middle name turns out to be my father's real name coincidentally. Could you imagine the dude's reaction when my mother suggested the middle name? That would have been funny to see. Edit. My brother's first name is named after the fake name. My brother's middle name coincidentally happens to be the real name unbeknownst to my mother. My mother, a schizophrenic drug addict, screamed help me before putting a revolver in her mouth and pulling the trigger. I was the only one home and wasn't able to dissuade her. I was a young child. I've had nightmares every night since. For 17 years. The only time I'm able to sleep soundly is when my partner is sleeping next to me. He unknowingly heals my worst trauma just by snoring and holding me close. Haha. Edit. Wow. I don't think I'll ever be able to reply to all these messages. Thank you so much for the silver and golden comments and upvotes. No need to type out a diagnosis for me. I've been to therapy and have a great support system around me that I'm very thankful for. Trauma is something that I have a lot of, and I use that trauma to fuel my art. I'm just another queer kid who got scratched up along the way, is all. No need to worry. See. In my 21 years I have never been in a relationship or even kissed another person that wasn't family. I contemplate suicide because I feel like I'm not cut out to do responsible adult stuff. I got a call from Be The Match, the National Bone Marrow Donor Registry, on Friday. It seems I came up as a possible match for a 9-year-old boy with leukemia. I just finished signing consent forms and filling out the medical questionnaire today, and I have some further testing to confirm the match later this week. Edit. Thanks for the gold, silver, platinum. Kind strangers. And especially thank you for all the kind words and the support. I'm no hero, but I'd like to think of myself as a new member of this kid's team trying to help him kick leukemia's butt. I talk to myself constantly. Sometimes I talk to myself in the mirror when I think I look good. While driving alone I have full-blown conversations with myself. Other drivers have noticed before and it was pretty embarrassing. I'm finally facing the ugly truth of age and mortality. My parents and a few other relatives who are in their early 60s now are having a multitude of health complications from mental illness to cancer, and it's scaring the shit out of me. I'm only 26, and I think back to when I was a kid and everyone was perfectly fine. Just doesn't seem that long ago. Edit. First, thank you kind strangers for my first Reddit gold and silver. I've read through just a few comments. Didn't quite expect to wake up to 280 plus notifications. LOL, I've made it a goal as of recent to try and set more time aside for family. And seeing everything unfold these past few years helped me realize how important it is to not take for granted the time you have with those you love. THX again for all the responses and support. My girlfriend since high school has schizophrenia. I love her with all my heart, but there are days when it's really hard. I am patient with her and try helping her and convincing her to take her meds. There have been months where she isn't herself and breaks up with me. That's the hardest cause, even though I know she's doing it cause her condition. I can't force her to be with me. She has never been with other man. And damn, she is the love of my life. She shines like no one else I've ever seen. My family and friends would prefer I left her, but they know I won't and they respect that, which is nice, I guess. We have been self-harming free for the last 3 months, which is also nice. Edit 1. Seriously, thanks for the love, support, and for everyone worried. I will take care of my own mental health too. Thanks. Really. Also, thanks for the gold kind stranger. I haven't had depression, that I know of, for years, but I wildly fantasize about dying. My dream is to drive or take a train to a city at night, buy some snacks, eat them on the overpass as I watch the lights and then jump off, inevitably leading to my death. It gives me excited butterflies thinking about it, and I don't know why. Had the fantasy since I was 14ish. I'm now 22. Never told anyone until now. Edit. I appreciate all the concerning comments, but I don't think I'd ever go through with it. I'm totally aware of how it would affect other people, etc. It's likely the main reason I wouldn't do it. It's just a fantasy.